Hi guys, I'm Andy. Welcome back to Backpacking UK, the YouTube channel that's all about hiking, backpacking and wild camping. Right, I'm super excited today because I get to share with you the brand new Nortent Varde 1 tent. Now this is a solo backpacking tent like no other. Now Nortent, probably one of the most disruptive backpacking gear brands on the market. They're really good at thinking outside the box, and this tent is no different. It's built like nothing else out there. It really is in a league of its own. Now, this costs approximately, including VAT, duty and delivery, somewhere in the region of £550 if you buy direct from Nortent themselves. This weighs 3.2 kilograms, but for those of you that instantly think that's way too much for a solo backpacking tent, this is built for adverse weather conditions, and there's good reason why it's 3.2 kilos, which I'll show you in a bit. Pack size, it's quite chunky. It's 40 centimeters by 19 centimeters. Me personally, when I've used it, I've actually had the 4 DAC poles on the outside of my bag because it's quite big to put in the bag itself. But it's such a good tent. It's got so many features. It's the most distinctive tent out there right now. I thoroughly enjoyed using it, and today I get to show you all the features. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to show you what you get inside this Nortent Varde 1 tent bag. Then we're going to get it pitched. I'll show you outside, inside, and then we're going to talk about all the features and what I really think about the Nortent Varde 1. So this is what you get inside the Nortent Varde 1 tent bag. So pitches inner and outer together. You get a real substantial repair kit with this, include extra guys, pole sleeve, you get the instructions, you get these absolutely beautiful DAC Featherlight NSL tent poles. These are 9.6 millimeter and there are 4 of them. Now these are not the lightweight versions that I had fail on me with my QU Stormstar. These are the proper NSL ones like you see on Hilleberg tents. And then you get 20 of these Nortent Y pegs. Now the only thing I would say about these, as good as they are, really you should have longer pegs for a tent like this, but I'm pretty sure you can upgrade these for very little money when ordering the tent through the Nortent website. So let's get this solo backpacking tent pitched. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to set up my tent poles. So you've got 2 poles here, you've got blue ones and black ones. The black ones are the long poles, the blue ones are the short poles. So because there's absolutely no wind in the air today, I'm just going to lay this out. So it's got 2 doors, but they're both on the same side. So when pitching the tent, you just need to be aware of that. So I'm going to start with the longer black poles. Now it's actually really easy. The sleeves are colour coordinated, so they've got a decent length sleeve that's heavily reinforced at the bottom. Just make sure it's right in the bottom there. So now just going to thread through the shorter blue poles. Again, it's colour coordinated sleeves, so you cannot go wrong pitching this tent. Now the shorter blue poles do not cross, so they go straight over, so they're like parallel, whereas the longer black poles do cross over. So once you get the tent to this point, just simply just go round and use all the pole clips, working your way up. What I like about these pole clips is they actually work, so one goes one way, one goes the other way, It's just the little sort of details. It's really well thought out, this tent. So all the pole clips are on. Now this is a true, fully freestanding tent. So you can move it around and pitch it just perfectly. Now, as you can see, one thing is this tent does like to be on perfectly flat ground. So if it's undulating, it's going to make pitching this tent a little bit tricky. It's almost like troubles I have with DCF fabric, which has got no stretch. Sometimes they can be tricky to pitch when it's not perfectly flat. Because this has got 4 poles, it's got a similar sort of vibe about it. So I would always say with this tent, just try and find a lovely flat pitch, because it will pitch perfectly when it is. If not, it's just a little bit more tricky just to set up. So now I'm gonna peg out the bottom of the tent. Right, so the bottom of the tent is nicely pegged out. Everything's nice and taut around the bottom. Now it's a case of just pegging out all the guy lines. Now today what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna put 2 guy lines into 1 peg. So I'm just gonna wrap the top guys round the pole, bring them out roughly and peg them down. And then just carefully, so there's a little bit of tension, just tighten them off slightly. So this is the Nortent Varde 1 tent pitched. Let's take a look. So first thing, the Nortent Varde 1 has got to be one of the best looking tents out there. But most importantly, it works. It's got 16 thick Dyneema guy lines, which are all in the right places. Now the top ones wrap around the poles. They're both on the same sides, going into 1 point. It also has pegging points on the long panels as well. So the fly on this is a 30D seal nylon fabric with a hydrostatic head rating of 3000 millimeters. So it will certainly be strong enough and fully waterproof too. Now it's got 2 vents, one above each door, which really help with airflow. But everything on this is like heavy duty clips. This is where some of the weight comes from, but it's so well thought out. Short spacing between the tent clips as well. It really is built to withstand some really harsh weather. So as you can see, once again, the ribbon's thick, the pole sleeves are thick, even the thinner fabric still thick. The material that the pole clips come off is thick. It's just built so well. The quality of this tent is absolutely superb. So on this tent you've got 2 doors and 1 very large vestibule. So these are double zippers, and they've also got these really good glow in the dark zip pullers, which genuinely do work. They're absolutely superb. Now you've got 2 toggles, one on the top and one on the bottom. Again, I wish all tents would have this. It's nothing worse than the door keep pulling off in the wind. Now you'll see straight away it's got a really deep bathtub floor. So if you're in really wet, squishy land, you're not going to get water inside this tent. So here you've got both doors open so you can access from either side. Now this vestibule's lovely and big. It's 64 centimetres, but the thing is, it's really quite steep as well, so it feels cavernous inside, and the length is 2.4 metres. It's a massive vestibule, and if you're using this tent in adverse weather, you know, you're probably going to use this tent in winter as well. You're going to be spending a lot of time inside this tent. It just gives you that extra space, and it's so nice to be. So next, I want to show you the Nortent Varde one's party trick. So just undo 2 of the stakes. Now you've got 4 clips here. 1, just put that to the side. 2, 3, inside the tent, and 4. Now, I'll just take these 2 pegs off, and you'll see the canopy starts to rise. So what I now need to do is literally, I do 2, there might be different ways to do this. So I take 2 of the pole clips off, I hold this down, again 2 of the pole clips, and the canopy starts rising and gives you all this sheltered space here. And because these door vents are now nice and taut, these stop water from getting on the inner. It's really, really well designed. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to stake these out, and then we'll take a look inside. So you've got this fantastic canopy. Now at first I thought, is it just a bit gimmicky? But when you think about it, and you think you're going to be using this tent mainly in bad weather, it does give you a lot of extra space and sheltered space. Now, especially for those long days, I've been stuck in small tents for long days. It's not the best feeling in the world, where if you've got these 2 doors, this canopy, you can sit fully sheltered. There's no rain going to come in here whatsoever, but I've still got all these lovely panoramic views around me. I haven't got like a tiny little tunnel vision, you know. I've got this massive 180 degree view, and it could be for wind as well. If the wind's coming from the back, you could still have this open. So many guys, this tent's not going anywhere. So if the tent's on the back, the wind's coming across here, you can have this open. Again, you've got all these lovely views. On a day like today, I mean, it's absolutely stunning day today, but it could actually be used as a sunshade as well. So it's definitely not just a gimmick. There are genuine real world uses for this canopy. So let's take a look inside. So you've got 2 zippers, again, glow in the dark tabs. You've got this enormous door, which can be either completely see-through, and that's the entire door, or it can be completely solid as well. So you've got a toggle here. If you want to, you can toggle it, or you can just use the stash pocket inside the inner. So let's take a look inside. So for starters, you've got this really thick 70D bathtub floor with a hydrostatic head rating of 10,000 millimeters. So you've got 2 sort of clotheslines on here, 2 pockets at the back. You've got a door pocket, but if you want access to that pocket, you can just toggle back the door, and then you've got another big pocket on the other side. You've got these 2 pockets at head height as well. Loads of little cords and loops. There's lots of options for this solo backpacking tent. So inside the Nortent Varde one, you've got plenty of space. So at the ends, it's 60 centimetres. The length is 240 centimetres. And the maximum width is 105 centimetres. So you can have a long and wide sleeping pad here, still have space at the top and bottom and the side as well. Now head height, this is 100 centimetres high. I'm 5'8", 172 centimetres. Probably, I've got a reasonably long back. I've got about 5 centimetres above my head. For me, it's a lovely space. You know, I think one thing for taller people, where other tents sort of fall down, this has got plenty of length. So if you're a taller person, I think you'll really appreciate the extra space inside this tent. So the big question is, what do I really think about this Nortent? So positives, just like my original Vern one, I think the quality is excellent. I think it's right up there. Like all the materials, all the fixings, they're superb. The difference with the Varde compared to the Vern must be those DAC poles. Now it's got top quality tent poles that match the quality of the other materials and fixings in this tent. It's a really complete package. There's absolutely no doubt about that. I mean, this is built exceptionally well, and it's clearly been designed to withstand some really bad weather conditions. Now, I got caught out. If you check out one of my latest videos, my Newlands horseshoe video, I got caught out with the wind, and I tell you what, you could really hear the wind, but the tent wasn't moving around very much at all. And it's just those thick Dyneema guys, all 16 of them, hammered down into the floor with those tent stakes. They're thick DAC poles. It's a really rigid tent, thick fabrics, like all the reinforcements. It's a proper bad weather tent. You know, here in the UK, we love testing out our tents, and this feels like this was designed more for the UK than for Norway. It's going to be such a crowd pleaser here in the UK. Sort of other positives, although I thought originally this canopy was a bit of a gimmick, now I'm starting to see the benefits of it as well. So it's just such a well thought out tent and design. It's superb. My drawbacks for me is those 4 poles make this tent very rigid and less flexible as other tents. So you really do need to try and find a flat pitch if you want to pitch this tent really nice and cleanly. The pegs, I don't know what they were thinking there. It's got shorter pegs. Come on, this is like a bad weather tent. You want longer pegs, just have them as standard, I would. I think if you go to actually buy this tent on their website, I'm pretty sure they give you the option. So just upgrade the tent pegs, because the actual pegs are really nice. They're just, I just don't believe that they're long enough. But it's hard, you know, to find real fault. I think value for money, £550 is, yes, it's still a lot of money, especially for a solo backpacking tent, but there's a lot going on here. There's no doubt about that. You know, you've got a quality tent with quality materials for 9.6mm DAC poles. Them on themselves, I should think, cost quite a lot of money. So I think value for money is good. So where does this fare with other tents? You can't review a Nortent Varde one or a Nortent Varde one without referring to the Hilleberg Solo. It's impossible, because that's probably still the market leader for this type of tent. So what would my comparisons be between the two? I mean, the Solo, you've got a red label and a black label. Now the Verne is clearly more of a red label Solo competitor, which is what I originally compared that to. Now this is clearly a black label Solo competitor. So where are the main differences? I think the benefits of this is price. I mean, flipping heck, by the time you get a black label Solo and a footprint, this is half the price of that. Now this has an extra DAC pole. You know, it's got extra guy points, it's got extra pegging points. I think Hilleberg have messed up. I really do. You know, how long are they going to be the market leader in this segment of tents for? I don't think it's going to be for much longer. They don't seem to innovate anymore. They don't seem to improve their products. And by the way, I absolutely love Hilleberg tents. I've had 5. I really like them, but every single one of them has had faults that I think that really do need improving on. And as well, Nortents, these aren't perfect as well. You know, there's subtle things that I would change on my Verne and this as well. But I mean, I think if they were the same price, I think, you know, you could look a bit closely. Because this is half the price of a black label Solo, I don't think there's any contest at all. And if you're a taller person, I've seen all these people 6 foot plus trying to get into a Solo and say how big that tent is. It's absolute nonsense. If it wasn't Hilleberg, they wouldn't be saying that at all. That is a promise. Whereas if you're a taller person, you know, this is much better suited for you. But at the end of the day, the proof's in the pudding, and there's going to be a lot of people buy this tent to take out in our sort of autumn storms and all the winter weather we have in the UK. You know, people overseas don't realise how bad the weather can be in our national parks in the UK. I think it would really surprise them. We have some flipping strong winds, heavy, relentless rain. And then when the snow comes, I mean, these are harsh environments, you know, in our national parks. Just because they're not 3,000-4,000 metre mountains doesn't mean they're not harsh environments. But it will get a good test. But this has got to be a first impressions type thing. I've had a quick takeout locally. I've taken it to the Lake District. I'm impressed. It's better than I thought. The question is, for me really, not should you buy a Hilleberg Solo or a Nortent Varde. It's really, should you buy a Nortent Varde or a Nortent Verne? And that will be a video coming out soon. But anyway, hope you like this video. Please check out my other videos, especially my Newlands Horseshoe Wild Camping one, where you get to see this tent in action. But I hope to see you backpacking soon. Cheers.